Very good morning, my dear students. I hope you are fine and safe at your place. This is the lecture number 6 based on the unit number 2. As I have told you that except unit number 1, all the units are smaller. Right? So in this particular session, we are going to cover the unit number 2, and over here we are going to complete this unit. So now let us begin with our today's session. In this session, we are going to complete the concept of register. The two types of register like parallel and shift register that we will going to cover, and asynchronous 4-bit binary counter. After the last topic, we will complete unit number 2. So let us begin with our today's session. Question number 6. Explain block diagram of register, which may be asked in the 3 marks. So weightage of this question is of 3 marks. Now see, consider the routine life example in which we are having attendance register available at the college. Yes or no? Now see, what is the use of attendance register? It is used for taking the attendance of group of students. So register is same as our attendance register available at the college. Now over here, registers are generally used with the digital systems or digital computers. It is used as a temporary storage of devices, and at a time group of data bits is supplied with the registers. We have group of students. Over here it is a digital system, so we are having a group of data bits. The data can be moved from left to right. Always remember one thing, that data will be moved from left to right, and it is shifted 1 bit at a time. When clock pulse is given, now tell me on which concept we have attached the clock pulse CP. I am going to repeat my question once again, that with which concept we have used the concept of clock pulse. It is already given in the slide that with the help of clock pulse we are able to create flip-flop. Right? Various types of flip-flop we have already studied in the unit number 1. I hope you have remembered that question properly regarding the types of flip-flop. How many types of flip-flop we have studied? There are 5 types of flip-flop like SR flip-flop, D flip-flop, JK flip-flop and T flip-flop. One more flip-flop is there which is called JK master and slave flip-flop. Do you remember the name of flip-flops? So at that time we have learned 4 different types. The 5th one we have not taken, that is JK master and slave flip-flop. If you have watched the video of flip-flop, then you can understand. Now at that time we have supplied the clock pulses with each flip-flop. So over here we are going to use a group of flip-flop within the register, and each flip-flop is capable of storing 1 bit of digital information. 1 bit means what? What is 1 byte? It is a combination of 8 bit or group of 8 bit. Is that clear to everyone or not? So, it is the smallest unit of storing digital data. So, when you use the concept of flip-flop, first of all you need to supply clock pulses. With the help of clock pulses, you are able to transfer 1 bit of information in the digital system. Now there are two types of registers. One is called parallel load and another is called serial load. Consider the routine life example in which you are entering in the gate of our college. So there are two ways using which you can enter. Number one, parallel load. Parallel load means gate is opened and at a time all the students are entered. So it may become clumsy at that time. But when there is a serial load, that means students need to come one by one in the sequence. You are not able to come all the students at a time. So there is a difference between parallel load and serial load. I am going to repeat that point once again because our next slides are depends on the parallel and serial load. So first of all you need to understand the difference between parallel load and serial load. That when parallel load is there, at that time it will load all the data into the register at a time. And when there is a serial load, so from the name only you are able to understand that data will be data is inserted into the register one by one. So you are able to shift it 1 bit at a time. And when parallel load is there, at that time data will be loaded, all the data will be loaded at the same time. So this is the basic difference between parallel load and serial load. The number of clock pulses required to shift all bits of register completely in or completely out. Now see, what is the meaning of in and out over here? If data is inserted into the register, it is called in, and it is called out if data is out from the register. If you want to get data back from the register, it is called out, which is equal to the number of flip-flop in the register. That means if you have used 4 flip-flop, that means you are going to store 4 bit of information inside flip-flop. Is that clear to everyone? Now let me read out the points which are given over here. I have already explained all the given points which is listed over here, but even though I am going to repeat it once again, and if any point is missed out, then I can explain. Now let us focus on the first point. Registers are widely used in digital systems. It acts as a temporary storage device for a group of data bits. It is used to move data to the left or to the right by 1 bit for each input clock pulse. That means data can be moved either from the left side or from the right side. It is a group of flip-flop and each flip-flop is capable of storing 1 bit of digital information. There are 2 types of register you can use. Parallel load means to load all the flip-flop of a register at one time. And serial load means a load to the flip-flop of a register one bit at a time. So this is the basic difference between parallel load and serial load. With parallel load, you are going to shift all the flip-flop at a time. And when there is a serial load, at that time you are going to shift one bit at a time. And the last point is the number of clock pulses required to shift all the bit of register completely in or completely out. This thing I have already explained, that when you are going to input into the register, that is known as completely in. And when you are going to take all the data from register, that is called completely out. So out of the register is equal to the number of flip-flop in the register. As I have told you that if the 4 flip-flop you have used with the register, at that time you are going to store 4 bit of information inside register, because you are having 4 flip-flop. And each flip-flop is capable of storing 1 bit of information. I hope the following slide is properly understood. Now let me move towards the next slide, which represents the different types of registers available in the digital system. There are 4 types of registers available. Here is the name or short form of the register in the left side, and here is the full form of that register. This full form you need to mark up because it may be asked in the 1 mark. As I have told you in my previous video also, that full form you can write at the last page of your book, so that at the time of exam you can easily refer the full forms from the book. Now the first register is called SISO. S stands for serial and I and O stands for in and out. It is very easy full form. Serial in, serial out. The next register is SIPO. P stands for parallel. So serial in, parallel out. PISO, parallel in, serial out. PIPO, parallel in, parallel out. So these all are the name of register which you can use as per your requirement. Say for example, if you want to transfer your data into the form of serial only, that means if I want to input my data in the serial form and I want to output my data in the serial form, at that time I need to use the first register type, which is known as serial in, serial out register. So from name only you are able to get the concept that this particular concept contains this particular functionality. Yes or no? Now see, you just need to remember the difference between parallel and serial. With parallel, all the data has been shifted all bit at a time. And when you are going to use serial, at that time you are going to shift 1 bit of information at a time. So when there is a requirement to input or output your data into the form of serial, at that time you can use first register type. Now what is my next requirement? I want to input my data in the form of serial. But at the same time I want to get my data, all the data at the same time. At that time I can use parallel register. So parallel out is there. Now next register is called PISO. That means parallel in parallel, serial out. So in this particular register, it gives you the facility to transfer all bit at the same time into the register. So you can input into the register all the bits at a time. Serial out means what? When outing is there, when output will be produced, it will be shifted one bit at a time. So you will get only one bit at a time. PIPO means what? Parallel in, parallel out. That means it will be inputted into the register all bit at a time, and when it is time for the output, at that time you will get all the data at a time. Now see, if you are confused with the concept, at that time what you need to do, you need to consider our routine life example which I have given you at the very beginning of this lecture, that consider one gate of college, right, from where you are going to enter or going to out. Now see, consider the first register, serial in, serial out. In this particular case, what you need to do, when you are going to come inside the gate of college, at that time you are going to come in the sequence. That means first of all, first student will come into the college or enter into the gate of college, then second student, then third student. Is that clear to everyone? Now see, for the same register, when the college is completed and you are going to leave college, so what you need to do, you are going to out from the college. So for that, when the first register is there, again in the sequence only you need to get out from the college. So first of all, first student will be out, then second, then third. So this is the condition. Now consider the second situation for the same example, SIPO. That means when you are going to come inside the gate of college, at that time you need to follow serial form. That means one students need to come inside the gate of college. But when you are going to out from the college, at that time all the students can be get out of the college at the same time. No need to perform serial operations or no need to stay in the sequence, because all the students can get out of the college at the same time. Is that clear to everyone? When there is a parallel in, serial out, at that time what happens? When you are going to enter in the college, at that time all the students can come at the same time. But when after completion of the college, when you get out of the college, at that time one by one student can get out of the college at the same time. So single student need to get out. Now see, PIPO means what? When you are going to enter in the college, at that time all the students are going to enter at the same time. Similarly, when out of the college is there, at that time all the students needs to go at the same time. Is that clear to everyone? So this all are the types of register. Here is the block diagram of register. The first register is called serial in, serial out. So if 4 bit of flip-flop is there, at that time 4 bit of information you can store inside this particular flip-flop. Now what is our first case? Serial in, serial out. That means at a time you are going to enter 1 bit of information and you can out 1 bit of information. So for data in, 1 bit you need to pass. Similarly from this bit to this bit. from second to third, third to fourth, and fourth to out. The second image represents serial in, parallel out. That means data is inserted serially. But when you want to get all the data from the flip-flop, at that time you need to get it out from this side. Don't draw arrow over here, because if you draw arrow over here, at that time you are passing one bit of information at a time in this way. So what you need to do, when parallel out is there, you need to draw the cursor at the bottom. Now our next requirement is parallel in, serial out. So you can see that when data out is there, at that time it is in the form of serial. So you need to pass one bit of information at a time. So that can be known as data out, which can be written over here. Similarly, when you want to load all the data at the same time, at that time you can use data in at the top. See, this is the left portion, this is the right portion, this is the top portion, and this is the bottom portion. So serial in, serial out is there, left and right is used. Serial in, parallel out is there, left and bottom is used. Parallel in, serial out is there, top and right is used. And when parallel in, parallel out is there, at that time you need to shift all the data at the same time. Similarly, when you want to get out data or get back that data, at that time you need to get all the data as at a time. So this is called top, this is called bottom. So top and bottom will be used when you insert data in the form of parallel, and when you want to output your data into the form of parallel mode. So I hope from the following figure you have properly understand the concept. I want to repeat this point once again. Here 4 boxes are given which can be considered as a type of flip-flop, and each flip-flop is capable of 1 bit of information. So over here we are having 4 bit. So we can, here we have 4 boxes, which means we are able to insert or out 4 bit of information at a time. There are 4 types of register: SISO, SIPO, PISO and PIPO. Each has assigned its own individual task. Based on your requirement, you need to choose the register. When there is data in and data out, that means SISO you have used from left to right. When there is a time to parallel out, at that time at the bottom you need to use the cursor. And this represents that all the bits has been shifted, or all the bits can be out from the register. Is that clear to everyone? Here is the small information regarding SISO, SIPO, PISO and PIPO. So serial in, serial out means what? In this type of register, the data stored bit by bit and taken out of the register serially at every clock pulse. If you have not supplied clock pulses, at that time you are not able to transfer your bit. So always remember one thing, when you use the concept of flip-flop, compulsory you need to pass clock pulse with the flip-flop. Otherwise you are not able to transfer your bit. Is that clear to everyone? So with each and every clock pulse, you are able to pass the bit of information from one register to the another register. Now the data can be shifted from left or right. That means, see, in this case data will be shifted from left to right. But if you make arrow reverse arrow. That means in this way you have marked the arrow. At that time that data is known as right to left transfer. Now with SIPO, serial in parallel out register, the data is taken into the register bit by bit and data is taken out simultaneously, which means in parallel out. Reverse operation PISO, parallel in, that means all the data has been shifted at the same time, and serial out means data will be out one by one. So in this type of register, the data is entered simultaneously at the operation of single clock pulse and taken out of the register one bit after the other. The last is called PIPO, that means parallel in, parallel out. So in this type of register, what happens? All the data has been shifted into the register at the same time, and when you want to get back that data, at that time all the data can be come out outside the register at the same time. So in this type of register, the data is entered simultaneously and also taken out simultaneously. So these four are the points of register. Here is the list of applications in which the registers are used. Generally the registers are used with the digital systems where you want to transfer your data into the form of serial or parallel. So at that time you can use your register. Now it is used to interface digital system situated remotely from each other. The shift registers are important in storage and data transfer in the digital system. So when you want to provide storage for the data, at that time you can use the concept of register. See, this is a common knowledge, or common, it is it can be easily understandable. Why? Because see, flip-flop is capable of storing information. So flip-flop is used with the register, so it can be used for the storage purpose only. Is that clear to everyone? Now let us understand the last concept of this particular unit, which can be asked in the 3 mark. Question number 7. Explain counters in detail. So what is the meaning of count? Count means you are going to calculate. Now see, counter is nothing but it is one type of register which is capable of counting clock pulses you are supplied to the data which is stored in the form of binary. I am going to repeat this point once again. What is the word count? Count means we are going to perform calculations, right? So counter means what? Counter is nothing but it is a one type of register. Now this particular register gives you the facility to count the number of clock pulses you have given with the register. And this counter is in the form of binary. And always keep in mind that our data is only in the form of binary. Is that clear to everyone? Right now, whatever the concept we have understand, that is in the form of binary only. It is in the form of 0, 1 only. Yes or no? So counter is a type of register which is responsible for counting the number of clock pulses you have given with the register, and it gives and stores the data in the form of binary. So data will be stored in the memory in the form of either 0 or 1. Now counters are generally used with JK flip-flop. This point you need to keep in the mind. Why? Because in the 1 mark it can be asked that counters are mainly used with which type of flip-flop. So with the JK flip-flop, counters are generally used. Now as input is in the form of binary, similarly the output of counter will be in the form of binary only. There are two types of counters. One is called asynchronous or ripple counter and synchronous counter. The another name of asynchronous counter is ripple counter. Is that clear to everyone? So from this slide we learn that counters are nothing but it is a type of register in which we can store the number of clock pulses. The data is stored in the form of binary. Counters are generally used with the JK flip-flop. Output of counter is in the form of binary only. There are two types of counter. One is called synchronous or ripple counter and another is called synchronous counter. 4-bit asynchronous counter is there in our syllabus, right? That is the last point given in the syllabus that explain asynchronous 4-bit binary counter. So here are the list of points related with the 4-bit asynchronous counter. It consists of serial connection of complementing flip-flop like JK and T flip-flop with the output of each flip-flop connected to the clock pulse input of next higher order of flip-flop. Now see, let me switch to the theoretical portion of or block diagram of different types of flip-flop and different types of register over here. You can see this is the flip-flop. So when you transfer the data from this flip-flop to this flip-flop, at that time counters are used. See, it consists of serial connection of flip-flop with the output of each flip-flop is connected to the clock pulse naturally. As I have told you that flip-flop can be used with the concept of clock pulse only, and you are able to transfer your data only if you have a clock pulse. Then and then only you are able to transmit your data. And data can be transmitted from one flip-flop to the next flip-flop. The JK flip-flop are equal to 1. The small circle represents CP. CP, before CP we have make one circle. Circle means what? It is a complement or dash. When we make a bubble in the anything or any gate, at that time it becomes complemented. So when there is a small circle with clock pulse, that means it is complemented during negative transition. I want to repeat this once again, that if you want to pass a variable or data of a variable, at that time you can directly pass it. But when I want to complement that data, at that time I will draw one circle over there, which means that I have complemented my data. That means a dash would be there. So now if you make a circle when you pass the data into the CP, at that time you can say that the data would be transited into the negative way, because we have passed complements of CP. CP means clock pulse. Here is the truth table, which is very easy. Don't get confused, right? What you need to do, you need to write A0 to A3 in this way. Now see, 4 bit of data you can write, or 4 bit of combinations you need to write. How to write 4 bit of information? 0101 in the last column, 001 in the second last column, 4 times 0 and 4 times 1 in the third column, and the first column contains 8 times 0 and 8 times 1. Now in this particular column, what you need to write, that before passing clock pulse to the flip-flop, data would be 0 at that time. All the data would be 0. This is flip-flop 1, flip-flop 2, flip-flop 3 and flip-flop 4. So when you pass clock pulse for the first time, or when you pass first bit, at that time 0001 is there. When you pass second clock pulse, data would be shifted 0010. So after the 16th clock pulse, data would be reset. That means once again all the data you have shifted from register to the another register. So at that time, when after reaching the 15th clock pulse, or after passing the 15th clock pulse, you need to reset your clock by passing all the flip-flop data into the value 0. Is that clear to everyone? Now see, if you want to draw the diagram of this particular data, what you need to do, you need to write all the combinations starting from the first 0000. After that, which is the next combination? 0001. So what you need to do, you need to draw 8 rectangles over here and 8 rectangles over here. Now first combination you need to write in the first rectangle. The second combination you need to write with the second rectangle. When you reach over here, that means in the last rectangle, at that time combination of 0 will be completed. See over here. The last combination related with the 0 is what? 011. Now see, after reaching at the last combination related with 0, we have combination related with 1. So 1000 is the first combination after reaching in the 7th clock pulse. 1000. Then 1001. 1001. Again, in this way you need to write all the possible combinations related with the variable 1 or number 1. Now after reaching at the last clock pulse, that means when the 15th clock pulse has been passed using clock pulse over here, you need to reset the clock. So this is called ripple counter. Ripple counter means the counter is always passed 1 bit of information from 1 bit to the another bit, and this is a cycle. Is that clear to everyone? And the last point is applications of counters. The counters can be used with the scientific instrument, it can be used with the digital clocks, it can be used with the frequency meters, it can be used with multimeters and timers. So this all are the applications of counters. Let me repeat it once again. When there is a scientific instrument, digital clock, digital frequency meter, digital multimeter or timer, these all are known as the applications of counters. So over here we have completed our unit number 2, right? I hope it is properly clear. In our next session we will start with the data representation, that is the name of unit number 3. Till there you need to write these all questions in your journal. Thank you all.